Also, another thing you can get is Jocko white tea. You can get it. It's in stock, by the way. And it's going to stay in stock. I'm a little nervous about saying that, but it's going to stay in stock. Because you know why I'm confident in saying that? Because I bought a lot of it. Because I don't play around. When I make a logistical error and we end up with no Jocko white tea and everyone's angry about that, myself included, guess what? We're going to do something about it. So we have stock. We got a lot of stock. And you actually know that you need it because deadlifting. You know you need that 8,000 pound increase, which by the way is guaranteed. It's guaranteed to happen. We're hearing about pull-ups now too. People that are trying to get better at pull-ups are going from 10 to 12 pull-ups. Now we're getting numbers up around 147 minimum. And the other thing is the jiu-jitsu. If you're training the jiu-jitsu, and we're probably going to have to add a warning to the label of Jocko white tea because we got people out there that are just randomly throwing Kimuras. They can't stop it. They're meeting somebody, boom, they're throwing a Kimura on them, just on the regular, just landing Kimuras all over the place. So you got to watch out for that little warning. It's on Amazon. That's if you're here in America. If you're on international orders, go to eBay and get it from the official listing of the Jocko Podcast. It's like sold by Pro Resourcing, which is actually going to change in the near future because we're getting more involved in the actual, what's that called? The fulfillment of the tea. Yeah. We're joining some forces.
Streamlining. We'll say.
Yes. While you're on Amazon, also, there's a book called Extreme Ownership, referred to it a couple times tonight, possibly by me and my brother, Leif Babin. And let me tell you what you do is you lead within your company or within your team, you infiltrate with Extreme Ownership. Get a copy for your subordinates, get one for your bosses, spread the word because it will actually improve your alignment and your effectiveness as a team. It will. And one thing I noticed, I was at a company that we were working with, and it's very impactful. Just when people read the book, all of a sudden they have a common language. They're referring to the problems in the same way. They recognize the problems clearly because they've seen it and they all understand it. And it improves the communication and the understanding between the groups because they know what the problems are because they've been identified in the book. So make that happen. And also you can get a little copy of a book pre-order. It's called Way of the Warrior Kid. And you might be thinking, oh, well, I'm not a kid. I'm an adult. Doesn't matter. You actually need this book too. So there's a part in the book when Uncle Jake is trying to explain to his young nephew Mark what discipline is and why it is important, and that discipline starts by getting up early in the morning. And of course, Mark, he just thinks discipline is sort of like following the rules. So Uncle Jake has to do a little explaining to him, and this is what Uncle Jake says. That's one kind of discipline. But it isn't as simple as just following the rules people give you. The most important part of discipline is following rules you set for yourself. It is doing things you might not always feel like doing, things that make you better. Then Uncle Jake started getting really intense. Listen, if you want freedom from being bullied at school by Kenny, you have to have the discipline to go to jiu-jitsu class and learn the skills to defeat him. If you want freedom from ridicule when you do pull-ups at school, you have to have the discipline to train so that you can do pull-ups. If you want freedom to swim in the water and enjoy your school field trip, you need the discipline to overcome your fear of the water and learn how to swim. What about school? Do you want to be free of being stumped on tests and not knowing the answers to the questions they ask you? Then you need the discipline to study and learn the material they teach you. And when you get older, you're going to want financial freedom. That means having enough money to do what you want without worrying about it. And the only way you're going to get financial freedom is by having financial discipline, by saving money and not wasting it on things you don't need. And that discipline starts with getting up early in the morning. So that's a little hit from my Uncle Jake right there. So Uncle Jake is, he's clearly mentoring and helping his young nephew, Mark, who's got some shortfalls that he needs to correct. And Uncle Jake helps him do that. So all kinds of lessons to be learned in there for all of us. And, lessons about how to study, how to overcome fear, how to get stronger. So order yourself a copy and do it now. This is the thing. We want to do it now. Again, I pointed this out before. We want the publisher to print enough so that there's not a shortage, right? If everybody waits, then the printer goes, we're going to need that many copies. And then everyone orders it when it comes out, and now we have a backup, and everyone's angry. So order it now. That way we have enough when it rolls out. And get one for the kids at school, the classroom, the library down the street. Get the word out there. I wish I had this book when I was a kid. So it actually comes out May 2nd. And then, by the way, 2 days later, after May 2nd, after this book comes out, it's going to be time for the Extreme Ownership Muster number 002 in New York City, May 4th and 5th, Marriott Marquis in New York City. We're finalizing all the details right now, and I'm telling you what, it's going to be awesome. We're going to get after it, and it's going to leave a mark. It will have an impact on you. It's intense. It's going to be powerful. And the other cool thing is you're surrounded by all these other people that are all in the game, out there crushing it. Every imaginable industry, every level of leadership, just getting after it. So sign up, book your ticket, get your hotel room. And by the way, obviously, Leif is going to be there. I will be there. So will JP Donnell. Of course, Echo Charles, he's going to be rolling around, cruising, as he likes to say. Dave Burke, who's now new to Echelon Front team. JP's been on the Echelon Front team for a little bit. Basically came on the podcast, and we said, you know what, we got to get you in the game. So JP's in the game, obviously. And Dave Burke, just coming on right now. Worked with a couple companies so far. Was in the Marine Corps, fighter pilot, Top Gun instructor, by the way, and also was with us with Task Unit Bruiser as the Anglico team leader in the Battle Ramadi. So awesome guy. He's going to be coming on the podcast here soon. I'm so can't wait for that. And also, I'm telling you, we will be hanging out with you, talking, discussing things, overcoming problems. There's no backstage, no green room. I'm not that guy. No, none of that. No curtain to hide behind. Just us. All of us. All these guys I'm talking about, including Echo Charles. We brought Echo Charles up on stage last time. He didn't like that.
No.
He doesn't like public speaking. I think you need to give a speech, like a 5-minute speech about something. No. Okay. So come on out and do that. And until the muster, until we do get there, in the meantime, you know that you can find us on the interwebs, on Twitter, on Instagram, and even you're going to find us right there on that Facebooky boy. We are there. And we are interacting on the interwebs. Echo is at Echo Charles, and I am at Jocko Willink.